Good morning, everyone. Hi, good morning. Let me share my screen. Is this yesterday's concept? Is this clear to you? Like sorting the x-axis with one more field, that is by using sort by column tool. Is that clear to you, everyone? Yesterday we discussed about visualization. So on the x-axis, by default, either we can get it in the form of ascending or descending, or alphabetical order. Okay. If you want to bring the data in from Jan to December, okay, that means from to 12 months, we have to sort it with one more field. Is that clear to you? Yes, tell me.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
I wanted to know like the concatenation functions you showed and the DAX function which you showed for the country and zip. You showed the three functions together. So how will we know which function to utilize?
So here, as I said, right, is a kind of a trial and error method. Why we are going to this concatenate, or else maybe why we are adding the new column? Because we don't have a
Any
unique
relationship?
relation. We don't
Yeah,
have a
many to many
unique
relationship.
relation. Yes, unique relationship between location table and the sales. So that's why here there is a concept name called calculated column, which is a part of DAX. So I showcased to you where is the calculated column. New column is available, right?
Yes.
So with the help of, so here what I did, I have identified two common columns here. So I'm just doing a trial and error. Maybe if you can try to concatenate this zip code and country column, so maybe if you can try to get okay one to many relationship, that should be very, I mean, like as per the performance part, it should be looks good, and also it will improve the performance. So to get this done, I'm trying to generate a new column by using this concatenate approach. So here simply I'm just calling this column country. Ampersand is an operator for concatenating part, and I'm using the delimiter comma separator. Okay. And again, another column I had to concatenate it right in the same table from location table, zip code. I'm calling the another column from the same table. Okay. So this is the simplest method, like ampersand wise, we can try to do a concatenate. Another option, which I have showcased to you, this one, by using the concatenate function, okay, DAX function, concatenate. So if you want to generate, if you are trying to concatenate two strings, two textual data, text1 comma text2 is the syntax. Concatenate text1 comma text2. See here what I'm doing. Text1 is country, and we have to get a comma separator or some space, some delimiter. Okay, to get this done, I'm using the text2 as comma separator. Okay, on the top of this, again, I'm using concatenate function. So this complete part is going to be your text1 comma text2. Is that clear to you now?
Yeah, it is clear, but I want to know which is the best method to utilize. Like you
Correct.
showed.
I have showcased you two approaches by using the new column approach, right? New column or calculated column. My suggestion is, okay, if you are trying to do a new column addition, that means by using this calculated column, my
Okay.
suggestion is you can try to derive this new column in the query editor. Okay,
Correct.
this new column, this is a column which I have derived from the query editor part, not derived by using DAX object. I haven't used any DAX object here. See here, country
Yeah.
zip code, which is available and derived from the query editor itself. So I just added a new column by using custom column here. See this, add column. So this is the one. So this is the best approach. Why it is a best approach means it is available. Okay, it is available in the data view. I mean, like this is the backend data, right? So whenever you are trying to perform the data refreshes, it will load only one time. If you are deriving the calculated column wise, it will impact the performance. That means it has to read by record by record. See here, even though even the backend, if you derived as front end, it has to read by record, and the front end part, whenever you're trying to perform the data refreshes, it has to read always, okay, multiple times. So which is going to impact the performance of your report. Okay. My
Yeah.
suggestion is, if you're trying to derive a new column, try to do that activity at the Power Query editor level.
Editor itself.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it is not possible there. It is not coming up as expected. Then try to navigate or else try to move with the help of new column or calculated column to generate the uniqueness between
Okay. Yeah,
two tables. Okay.
yeah, I got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other queries? Any other? Others, please respond. Everyone clear? Fine then. This is very, very important on the interviews part. Okay. Interviews part. And even the real time also, real time working environment, the customers, they will expect not from the revenue wise, okay, sorting order, revenue wise info. They will expect day, I mean month to month, month on month, what is the sales or else what is the revenue that has been generated, they want to see. So they want from 1 to 12 only. They don't want to see the revenue wise order, sorting order. Okay, from Jan to December, how the revenue or else the sales value has been represented. That is important. To get this done, what I did, I have sorted based on the month name, this particular month name column, which is available on the x-axis with one more field. Okay, that is the month number. Suppose if you don't have the month number field in date table, with the help of calculated column, I have shown you. Okay, month is the function. We can try to derive it. This is the value. Okay, so this column. I have a query. So this month number column, can I generate it in the query editor? I have used the DAX function, month function here. Okay, with the help of calculated column. Can I generate this month number column in the query editor? Yes or no? Simple. This new column, can I generate it? We can, right? We can. So as per the time being, I quickly use the month function. Month is the DAX function. I got this output. The similar, if you don't have the month number in our data itself. So see here, this is the one. So you're going to take the reference of the date here, add column, date. I have shown you this approach, month, not the name of the month. We're expecting the month number. That's it. This is the month number. See here. Got it? Fine. Please follow. If you have any queries, please let me know. I've shown you how to generate it also. Okay. But next part is measures. Okay, it's one more object from the DAX, data analysis expression. So if you're observing the DAX objects, these are the DAX objects. DAX data analysis expression. So we are going to write the functions and formulas only. We are not going to write any programs. Okay, by using the objects which I'm showcasing to you. The new measure, quick measure, new column or calculated column, new table or calculated table. Another name I'm saying, okay, new column or calculated column, new table or calculated table. Okay, new measure or calculated measure. Okay, name is new. So here, these are all these four objects. We are going to call it as a DAX object. Yesterday we discussed about calculated column. Okay, I mean, as per the project build, we have created a new column and we derived it to bring some uniqueness between one to another. Like that, there is one more object name called measure or new measure. So whenever, if you are trying to perform a calculations on the number part, number matrix part, At that kind of a scenario, we are going to use measure object. Okay. So measures, if there is any number field, maybe I want to perform some aggregations like sum of total value. In Excel, right, we will see the total value is equal to sum of, maybe at the down, if you want to calculate is equal to sum of above all values, we will try to call. Like that, here by using the this measure concept, we will try to call this by using the aggregation functions like sum, average, minimum value, maximum value, count of the value. Okay, these are all the aggregated functions which I have already showcased to you. Okay, in the data warehouse concepts part, right? So whenever if you are trying to perform these numeric related aggregated functions, then we can make use of measure object. So I will show you, how we are going to work it and how it is going to store. Please focus here. It's very, very important. We will play, in the real time part, we will work to showcase the metrics, right? We are going to work to showcase the real time metrics, KPIs, key performance indicators. So these are all the numbers, right? So that kind of a scenario, you are going to use measure concept only. See this? In sales table, is there any metric information? Did you find out any metric? Let me showcase the data view part. Is there any metric or else a number field did you observe? Number fields are available. Revenue is a number. Unit is also a number, right? I want to see the total. That means aggregated sum of this revenue. What we will do in the sense, see here, even you can observe there is a sigma icon. Sigma stands for a number. Okay, even the units too, number. If you are trying to drag and drop this revenue onto this reporting canvas, by default, it is aggregating. Okay, you are not writing the function. Please observe, by default, it is aggregating and taking the reference of sum of revenue. It's a sum. 5.33 billion is the sum of aggregated value. Okay. So how it is calculating? So backend part, the DAX engine, right? It is trying to read by record to get that 5.33 billion value. It is backend to get this particular number, right? 5.33 billion. It's reading the record by record. The DAX engine is going to read by record to generate the 5.33 billion value. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting this 5.33, right? To improve the performance, instead of reading the record by record and impacting the performance, with the help of new measure object, we can get the same number, 5.33 billion. See here, please observe table tools, new measure. Click on the new measure or calculated measure, giving the name as total revenue. Okay, is equal to, I'm saying the aggregation function, right? Which one we are going to use it? By default, what is the aggregation? I'm calling it as an aggregated function. What is the by default function there? When I'm trying to drag and drop the revenue, which aggregation function it is taking, referring? Sum, right? You can here is equal to, after this, we can directly call the aggregation function sum. Okay. See here, I'm just calling this sum, which is an aggregation function. Like that, we will get a lot of suggestions. Are you going to do the sum, or else maybe if you want to do a summarize, group by, or else a sum x, summarize columns too. It is giving some suggestions for us. So here, I'm going to perform sum of, okay, sum of that particular column. I have to call that column. Let's see here, sum of that particular column name. You have to specify the column name, not the table. So I have already discussed yesterday. Suppose if you are calling the table, right, you will get the lot of suggestions. See here, these many suggestions you have to get, and you have to select the required column like this manually. Suppose if you are calling out the column name like revenue, how many suggestions we are getting? Are we getting the less number of suggestions? Responses, please. See here. So even if you're trying to derive a new column or calculated measure, try to call the direct column name instead of a table. In real time, each and every table, we will see that more than 50 columns or something. At that kind of a scenario, to observe else to get that particular column name right, it will take some time. Okay, we have to thoroughly check that table. If you're calling that column, it's very easy for us, revenue. So I'm directly calling it, close the bracket, validate it. Validate it. Now you can tell me total revenue has been created, measure has been created. Did you observe anywhere this total revenue as a new column or as a new object in the data? Did you observe any number or else something like that? In this data view, I'm selecting here. Are you able to see any total revenue column? I haven't generated any new column. Please focus. I haven't generated any new column here. Total revenue, one measure I have created. Did you observe anywhere in this? Nothing. In data view, it's not created. If you want to see the value of this total revenue, we have to go to the report view. So here, if you are trying to drag and drop onto the canvas, see this? You will see the same number. Is that matching? Both are same only, right? 5.33 billion sum of revenue, which is already I'm able to see in the data view, data level, and how it is getting calculated, I'm aware of it. Like row by row, it is getting calculated. But I just created total revenue. Did you observe anywhere? No. So this total revenue, which I have created with the help of new measure concept, it will be get stored in the form of a cache. Okay. The value will be get stored in the form of a cache value. Cache, that means temporary storage. Okay. Whenever, if you want to retrieve or else whenever if you want to see the output of the value, you have to drag and drop onto the reporting canvas. Until that, you will not see that value. Okay, that's the advantage. So this cache data, cache value, which is a metric, it's not going to read by record. It's going to store the total value in the form of a cache. So in that way, the report performance will be get improvised. Okay, if you are using an existing value, that is the revenue, to get this total revenue, that is the sum of revenue, it has to read by record, and it will impact the performance of the report. And if you are trying to make use of explicit, okay, there is a technical name for this, explicit measure, which is by using a new measure object, it's not going to impact the report performance because the value is going to store in the form of a cache. You will not see that total revenue anywhere in the data level. We haven't created. It's not a new column, right? So we will call this revenue column, which is already available coming from the sales table, we will call this 5.33 billion value, which we are getting from the revenue column. I'm able to see the column also from the sales table. We will call that value as an implicit measure or implicit metric number. And this 5.33 billion total revenue, which we are going to call it as an explicit measure. Please remember the differences. Implicit measure is there, explicit measures are there. Okay, implicit measures we will get it from the table level. Okay, and also we can see the data. Explicit measure, the values will be get stored in the form of a cache. You cannot able to see anywhere on the data level. Okay, and the performance wise, explicit measure will give a good performance compared to this implicit measure, because it has to implicit measures has to read by record, and it will take some time to generate this output. Okay, backend, the engine has to read by row. That's what we discussed, DAX engine. Okay, to get this 5.33 billion total revenue output, it gets stored in the form of a cache, the cache value. Whenever if we want to see some value, we can just try to drag and drop onto the reporting canvas, but we cannot see that measure, explicit measure value on the data level. Please remember, this is very, very important. Interview parts, you will get what is an implicit and explicit measure. You have to answer that. Okay, like that, I'll just try to showcase you one more example. Okay, unit, sum of unit. Okay, it's a sum. Okay, I will use an for this measure, right, to get the sum of revenue using a new measure. Click on the new measure, total units, sum of, see here, sum of units, call that column directly, close the bracket, validate it. See here, is the total revenue is available in date table where it is get stored. So total revenue, that units column, total units column is available on date table. Yes, no. Is that available on the date table? Units column, is that available on date table? Responses, please. Where it is getting stored? It's getting stored on the date table. See here, unit column is not available on the date table, but this measure, explicit measure, is getting stored on the date table. Why in the sense? As I said, the value, the total units which you have derived by using an explicit measure, it get stored in any of the table. We don't know. It will be get stored and it will get available any of the table. Though we don't have any of this units column. So in this date table, right, I don't have any unit column. See this. These are the fields. Date, month number, month name, quarter, month. I mean like a day name analysis. These are the fields that I have. But I'm not able to see any units here. But this total units, the value, the output of this total units, which is an explicit measure, it get stored on this table. Okay, so if you are trying to derive an explicit measure, it will get stored any of the table. It is also one of the difference. And if you are using an implicit measure, it will be get available on the same table. Okay, you can try to see the unit on the same table, sales table, unit column. Units is one of the field. Okay, it has to, because it has to read by record to generate that total unit, which is a 12 million value. And the total units, which you are deriving it as an explicit measure, it will be get stored in the form of a cache, and it will be available any of the created or else extracted tables. We can try to move it. So maybe I'm not interested. It's getting confused to me to get available on the date table. I want to move to the sales table now. This total units, I want to move it to some other table. As of now, total units value, this output value is on date table. I want to move to its home table, another table. How to move? Select this explicit measure, select it. See here. As of now, home table, it will be get stored on the date table level. I want to move to my sales table. Just try to open it. Move this total units to the sales table. Can you see that? Is there any total units here? Is that explicit measure is available? You're not able to see because you just moved your explicit measure, which is stored in the form of a cache, to your home table, that is a sales table. Here, it's available here. Is that clear to everyone how it is moved? Why it is moved? How I have moved from one table to the another, this explicit measure. These are all regular activities on daily report building or else while working on this reporting part. Everyone clear? Or else any confusion? Please tell me. This total revenue, total units, which is an explicit measure. You cannot see that values on the data view or else the data tab. You can see those values, okay, that explicit measure values in report view only. Once you can try to drag and drop. See. Got it? Any questions? Any questions? Is that clear to everyone or else any confusion? Like that, if you are working on the number part, okay, I will tell you one more example, okay, one more explicit measure. If you are working on the number related activity, instead of using the implicit measure, my suggestion is try to use explicit measure. Okay. So here I want to make use of one more time intelligence functions. Like maybe I will discuss thoroughly what is the time intelligence function, which is related to the date related functionality. Okay, total each and every year, what is the total value? I want to see the total value. Okay, in that kind of a scenario, I have to make use of explicit measures only. Okay, because I'm going to work on the number. I want to see each and every year totals. Okay, individually. In that kind of a scenario, to work on the time intelligence function, I have to make use of explicit measure. So revenue column is there. Okay, revenue column is there in my sales table. I want to perform what is the total sales or else the total revenue. I'm calling the revenue or sales, both are, I mean, or I'm saying, okay, we can try to see the total values, total revenue values, okay, overall value. And also for each and every year, how much revenue it has been generated. I want to see that statistics. I want to see that number. In that kind of a scenario, we are going to use time intelligence functions. Okay. So in that, I'm going to use one of the function name called total YTD. Okay, year to date for each and every year. What is the total revenue value? So for that also, I'm going to make use of new measure. Click on this new measure, giving the name as total revenue YTD year to date. Okay, is equal to direct functions are there. We can make use of total YTD like QTD is there, quarter to date, so monthly wise we have. So as of now, I'm trying to derive total YTD year to date. So what it is going to derive? See here in the syntax part, the expression here the expression is total revenue. Okay, comma date. So I'm already holding the date table. Date column is there. I'm going to call that date table date column. So the expression is, see this. This is very, very important. Please observe. Sum of expression. So which column I'm going to call? You can tell me which column I'm going to call it here. Total YTD is the one of the DAX function to see the total year to date value on each and every year sales value. For that, I'm using one of the time intelligence function, time related function, total YTD year to date. Sum of which column we are going to refer? Sales, what is the column name? Revenue, right? You can call that column directly revenue, not the sales table revenue. Call that column directly instead of calling sales and picking up the particular revenue column. Okay. See here, like this. Okay. I'm just directly calling this revenue. Close the bracket. That is my expression, comma. I'm just following as per the syntax. If you are observing total YTD year to date, expression, I just call that expression that is sum of sales revenue, comma, dates. Just try to call the date table, date column. Close the bracket, validate it. So it's one of the time intelligence functions. So for each and every year, if you want to see the value, the total year value, year to date value, in that kind of a scenario, I'm going to make use of explicit measures only. It's a number part. I'm dealing with the numbers. Okay. Number part, we have to work with the new measure concept. On the table level, if you're trying to derive some new columns like a concatenate, or else if you're trying to write some condition, you're going to work with dash, dash object. Which object? We discussed already. For concatenating or else a condition. Maybe I will show you the condition approach as well. So if you want to work on the table level to generate something new on the top of it, what is the object? Which object we are going to use? From this, you have to tell. new column or calculated column. Okay, new column or calculated column. If you are trying to derive a new column, like example, a condition, or else maybe if you are trying to generate a concatenated approach, we have to make use of calculated column or new column. If we are working with numbers, we have to make use of new measure or calculated measure object. Is that clear? This is each and every year revenue. So that's why this is not a total revenue. See here, sum of revenue is different. Total revenue year to date. Okay, it is going to take the reference of 2015. As per my data, if you're observing, I have the information from, from 2000, I'm sorry, 1999 to 2015. So this is the current year. Okay, 136.96 million is the 2015 revenue. Okay, this is the current year from Jan to December. Maybe as per the data up to date, you can see the result 136.96 million. Okay, this is the total revenue, overall revenue, and this is the total YTD value. That means I have an information from 1999 year to this 2015. Current year total YTD part 2015 is the latest. It is going to showcase that from 2015 Jan to until the data availability. Okay, maybe up to September or else I don't know as per the data. Last year value. Got it. So these are all the metric related activities. We are going to make use of new measure object numbers. Okay, metrics or else KPIs, key performance indicator. These are all technical names. Please remember. That's what here I projected. Calculated measures we can perform at the time of, whenever there is a report refresh runtime, the values will be get refreshed. And the values, right, those calculated measure values, it will not get stored on your data level. Okay, you cannot see that values on the data view because the values will be getting stored in the form of a cache, a temporary storage. Okay. Even in the model view also, we cannot see in the form of a column. It's a measure. You can see the object also. See this. In the model view, it's not be like a calculated column or else something. It's a measure object. Okay. Important, please remember. Measure object. We cannot provide any relationship also. Please remember, by using these measures, right, we cannot create any relationships. It's a number part if you're working on the important metrics like aggregation functionalities. If you're trying to derive, we have to make use of new measure object. Okay. I hope it is clear. You cannot bring any relationship with the help of measures. Okay. Please remember, important. Fine. So just now I had derived, right, one of the DAX function, total YTD, year-to-date revenue, by using total YTD, year-to-date value. Year-to-date is the DAX function. Okay, time intelligence function. Okay. One more object is there, calculated table. See here. On the DAX part, we have one more object name called new table or calculated table. So what is the meaning of this new table? So I'm not going to import any new table from the data source system. Okay, you know how to extract the data, right? By using get data, we can import some, we can connect the database, and from there we can import some tables, correct? But here, calculated table or new table, the activity, what we are going to do with this object, new object, name called calculated table means we are going to derive a new table, okay, by taking the reference of existing tables. So already I have extracted 5 tables here. We have 5 tables. See this. I have extracted 5 different tables. With the help of these 5 tables, I want to derive some new, okay, new table, In the kind of a scenario, I'm going to use calculated table or new table. So which scenarios we can make use of it? Can you give an example? See here, location table is there, location table. Example, I want to derive a unique country table. So I'm able to see the country column in location table. So which is having the repeated records. It's having the repeated records. But I want to derive it as a separate table. Okay, separate table. Maybe I'm going to use it for the relationship build. Okay, in that kind of a scenario, a kind of a bridge table between my sales and location. Example, I'm not getting this idea. Okay, concatenate approach. I didn't get that idea to concatenate and to get this done. So what I will do in the sense, okay, if I'm not aware of this concatenate approach, I can try to derive a new table. Okay, new table, that is by using country column. So how to do that? See here, table tools, new table. So as of now, the country column which is available and the location is repeated. I'm going to derive a new table with distinct country names. See here, country unique. Distinct is the function. Distinct of which column you want to refer? I want to take the reference of the location table, country column. Call that country column directly. Close the bracket. Validate it. Is that unique countries or else distinct countries or else any repetition available? You can tell me. So location table. Assume that you didn't get an idea like country zip to concatenate and to generate. Okay, because we are getting the relationship as a many to many. You're not getting an idea. Okay, in that kind of a scenario, with the help of new table, okay, which is again one more DAX object. Okay, I'm not importing that new table which I have generated now from the databases. This table I haven't imported. Like extracted this information from the database. With the available data sets, which is available on my right hand side, I'm taking the reference of these columns from the table. I'm using a DAX function here, distinct, to generate a new table. So this is my new table now. See this. Country unique is one new table to me. Like that location table is another table. So if you're trying to make use of the existing table, okay, and trying to generate new information, that information will be helpful for our report development part. So this concept we are going to make use of in this modeling also. As of now, I just told you, right? If I'm not getting an idea of concatenate approach, I will try to use this country unique table as a bridge between location and the sales table. See here. Please observe. Important. I'm deleting this. Assume that you are not getting an idea of concatenation. I'm just deleting and showcase to you. It's important. Please observe. See here. Country to the country. What is the relationship? Is that a many to many or is a one to many? You can tell me. It's a one side to the many. So country unique is having the unique and star, which is on the location tag, is having many repeated records. Data redundancy is there. So I will use this country unique as a bridge, this table. So I will just try to map it. Country column from the country unique table to sales table country. So I got this relationship and I can play around. I got the relationship now between location to the country unique and country unique to the sales, which is a bridge, acts like a bridge between these two. It will work. Okay. If you're not getting an idea and if you haven't identified any one of the both, I have identified two common columns here. Suppose if I'm not finding out any two common columns, what I will do in the sense, I will try to make use of a calculated table. I will make use of the calculated table, new table, and try to generate a uniqueness, okay, unique values as a separate table, and use that new table as a bridge between two tables, that is a location and existing, okay, location of the sales table. These type of an activities we are going to perform by using new table or calculated table. Okay. Assume one more example I will try to give you. I don't have a date table. I don't have a date table. Assume, but as of now, it is showcasing to you. Think like that. I don't have a date table. Okay. And I have a date field which is available on this sales table date. See here, sales table date field is there. Okay, date column is there. I don't have a date table assumption, but in sales table date field is I have observed. How can we derive a separate date table? See this. With the help of, I'm taking the reference now. With the help of new table concept, new table, I will try to use, okay, I will try to generate a date table now. So date underscore, maybe just giving the DAX is equal to calendar. Calendar is one more function, DAX function. So we have to provide the start date and end date. So I'm going to take the reference of the sales table date column. So here I'm taking the reference of calendar, first date of, not from the date table, okay? Sales table date, close the bracket, comma, last dated value, okay? Last start date, the start date functionality, see here, calendar, your syntax is start date, comma, end date. So here in the start date part, I'm using the first date of sales table date. That means first non-blank date, okay, which is not a blank date. I have to fetch that value, non-blank value. Okay, first non-blank value of sales table date column. Like that, last non-blank date. See here, the syntax returns the last non-blank date of sales table date column. Try to call that column, close the bracket, validate it. So, as I said, if you don't have any date table anywhere, extracted info or else report development, we can try to take the reference of existing table date field and generate a new date table, okay, which will be helpful for your time intelligence functions related activities. Okay, time intelligence in the sense date related functionality works. So in this way, we can try to derive a date table. Is that clear? Everyone? Everyone following, right? Can I delete this? In this way, we can try to make use of date underscore d, which I have derived in, by taking the reference of existing field from extracted tables. Okay. So calculated table. So here I had derived the countries with the district. So with the help of new table or else a calculated table object, I have generated. Okay. Next important concept. Please focus here. See this? I'm just trying to drag and drop the date field from the date table now. And I'm not using the implicit measure. I'm using the explicit measure, total revenue. Okay. You're observing something like on the top, there are some arrow marks, right? Up arrow, down arrow, double down arrow without connected, double down arrow with connected. You're observing some stats, okay? Some icons, right? Let me change from line chart to clustered column chart. Let me change. By default, it is taking suggested chart, okay, line chart. Instead of using line chart, let me use bar chart, line and clustered bar chart. See here, important. Let me increase the font of x-axis too. See this? You're observing something like arrow marks, right? arrow icons are there. Up arrow, down arrow, double down arrow without connected, double down arrow with connected. So on the interviews part, these two are very, very important. I will explain each and every other, but these two are very important interviews. And even sometimes you will get the certification level. This one I got it, but it's I mean, as per the luck, we will get the questions. I don't know. Maybe the same question will be repeated for the next time. Means we are not sure. We will not get that. Okay, but I got this double down arrow with connected. What is the importance of this? Okay, see here. First of all, I have taken the x-axis with year. I mean date field and the revenue. So y-axis is on my revenue, total revenue. So over the year, over the time period for each and every year, I'm able to see some revenue. These are the revenue values, correct? From 2000 to 2015, I'm able to see some statistics, some numbers, metrics. Okay. So if my end user, he want to navigate, he want to move from year to the quarter, that means if you're observing this date, right, date field, there is some hierarchy. So year to the quarter, quarter to the month, month to the day level analysis, each and every device statistics. If you want to see the one level to the another level, that means a deep down analysis from year to the quarter, quarterly to the monthly level, month to the day level. Okay, each and every month, 30 days, 31 days will be there. I want to see day wise drill down analysis. In that kind of a scenario, see here, what we will do in the sense, we'll just try to turn on this drill down option. We have to turn on this mode. Now drill mode is on. Previously it was off. See here, it was off. I'm just trying to turn on this drill down mode is on. So once we can on this mode, example, I want to navigate. This is my 2009 year. I want to see the, as of now 2009, this is the value 2.6 billion. I want to see it in the quarterly manner. Just try to select on the top of this bar. That's it. You don't need to select somewhere. You just to select the bar itself. So it will be get navigated from yearly wise to the quarterly wise distribution, the value distribution. So how much total revenue has been generated for each and every quarter? 4 quarters are there in 2009. So each and every quarter, how much revenue, total revenue? I'm interested on this quarter 4. Why it is very low compared to this other 3 categories, quarters? Just try to select it. Quarter 4. It's navigating from quarters. Quarter 4, we have 3 months, October, November, December. These are the statistics, numbers. Still, I'm interested in the November month, day-wise analysis, day-wise. Just try to select the bar. So 1 to 30 days are there. So I can see each and every day how much revenue it is getting generated. See here. In this way, we can try to drill down the data to the lowest level. Okay, this is the very lowest day-wise analysis. So from year to the quarter, we come up from quarter to the month and month to the day level. Okay. So how can we move up again? So here we have an option drill up, or here this up arrow, which you are observing now, highlighting, right? Up arrow. If you want to move up, you can select it here on the bar. See this drill up, or you can try to select it from up button here. Understood? These two is clear to you. If you can try to turn on this button, turn on, we can directly select this bars. Suppose, so I'm not aware of this drop down, I mean like a drill on mode. What if you can try directly select this bar? You just selected only. You just selected. You just selected. If this drill down mode, if you are not enabled, okay, if you can select it directly, you just selected that 2010 year. Got it? Like that, we have one more option. double down arrow, double down arrow to navigate to the next level of hierarchy. So if you're observing from 2000 to 2015, you are observing the data, right? If you are directly selecting this double down arrow, you can see from year to the quarter. See this. You can see the year to the quarter. This is the which year means this is the latest year values. Okay, latest year values. So as per the report development, 2015 is the last year. As per the data availability, 2015 is the last. If you can directly use this, go to the next level of hierarchy. This is the 2015 quarterly data. Okay, like this. See here. Got it? Like that, if you have one more level, there is a double down arrow with connected, with connected. If you can try to select this with connected, you can see the parent information, parent in the sense year, along with the quarter. The next level of data is the quarter, quarterly wise, quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I want to see the data for next info, that is the monthly. I can observe year, quarter, and along with the monthly statistics. This is very, very important. Double down arrow with connected will give you the statistics along with your parent, and you can observe your child level statistics, child level data. Okay, from year to the quarter, quarter to the month, month to the day level analysis, I can try to view by using this double down arrow with connected. Okay, so that's what here I have projected. So explore the time-based analysis from year to the quarter, quarter to the month, month to the day level. Sometimes, right, from the businesses, they will ask you, I'm not interested on the quarterly, I'm interested on the year, month, and date. In that kind of a scenario, we can remove this quarterly data, remove it. So now we are going to project year, month, and day-wise analysis. See here, this is my year. If you can try to turn on this mode, right? Next, I'm going to see months only. This is my months. Maybe up to June month, I have the statistics. I want to see the day wise. Maybe I'm interested with the May month. May month. So I can see the values for day wise statistics. There is no quarterly. Okay. So this type of an analysis explore time based, okay, time intelligence based analysis by taking the reference of date field on your x axis. Okay, so these icons are important. This is for drill up, and this is only the drill on mode. If you can try to turn on this, we can directly select on the bar itself. So whenever you are giving some presents to the customer, we have to convey these options to. So they are not aware, right? Customers, they are not aware. What is this button will do? This icon will do. We have to guide them. We have to enable it. We have to showcase the presentation, right? We have to do that. Otherwise, they will just try to ask you, how can I navigate to the next level of data? I'm seeing the year-wise information. I want to see the monthly-wise or else a day-wise analysis. So we have to guide them, try to turn on this button, navigate from one level to the another level. Or maybe if you want to see the overall data, overall information, just try to one level to the another level, we can go to the next level of data. Or if you want to see the parent along with the child information, we can make use of double down arrow with connected. Okay. Fine. That's the representation part. So each and every year, as per the selection, the time periods, we can try to navigate from year to the quarter and quarter to the month, month to the day while analysis. That's why we can try to deep down the data and see the lowest level of hierarchy. That is the day level. Okay. So I'm just giving some explanation here. What is the icons wise drill up or as a drill down? You can just go through it. Okay. I have some knowledge check for you. Please try to answer this knowledge check. How do you get the Power BI desktop to find the relationship in data after it has been imported? Try to answer with ABCD. Answers, please. Read the question properly and answer. How did you get Power BI Desktop to find relationship in data after it has been imported? So after importing the data to this Power BI Desktop, how it is? So some people are saying 1C. Have I created any parameters? I haven't created any parameters. So once the data sets will be get imported to the Power BI Desktop, I showed you how many ways, right? So I'm not working on the Power Query. Power Query editor is finished. We completed. We are now into the model level. So manage relationship. Find the relationship. How it is getting identified. Automatically, it is getting detected. Correct? Automatically, relationships are getting detected. So Power BI, okay, the Power BI DAX engine. Once your tables will be imported onto the Power BI desktop, if you're importing multiple tables, okay, it's automatically getting detected one to another, one side to the many. That's what it is doing. Select manage relationship and then auto detect. Okay, that's what the first option is B. Everyone clear, right? Everyone, is the clear, the first option. Second one, if your months were sorted alphabetically, how could sort them by month order? You can explain. You can send me the chart. Answers, please. If your months are sorted, I have explained you now answer today. Please try to answer right. Expecting the right answer for this. Apply the month number category, sort by column option. Okay. You will get this type of a questions. Okay. Not only these choices, you will get multi choices, multi select, okay, multi answer dashes, fill in the blanks. And also arranging the options, right options in the right place. Multiple ways are there. So how do you get the Power BI to get separate the data into year, quarter, month, and day? See this. This is important. Is this third question? I will show you practically. Then you can answer. Third one. If I'm trying to drag and drop, this example only. This one. If I'm trying to drag and drop date field here onto the canvas, am I doing any activity to get separate this year separate, quarter separate, month separate, date separate? Is that coming in an automated way, or else I'm doing some activity? I'm preparing some parameters, something on the query editor. You can tell me. Now you can answer. That's what the question meaning. How do you get the Power BI to get separate data into year, quarter, month, and date? It's an automatic. You don't need to do anything. It is automatic. Okay. I'm expecting a right answer for fourth question. Okay, if you understand about the concept, that subject, expecting a right answer. How do you create intermediate calculation and data? Intermediate calculation in the sense, I've created one unique table there and data, and you want to store as a part of a model. So the value, the table will be get stored as a part of a model. But the table, you will not able to see it in the Power Query editor. What is the option? Fourth one. So someone says fourth one is C. So is that measure is stored there? I'm able, you're able to see the measure data on the data view? Select the new measure button. Option C means select the new measure button. Can you see the data of calculated measure in data view? No, right? So the see here, read the question. How can we create an intermediate calculation? So distinct table I have created for one of the purpose, right? One purpose, that means relationship build. And I can see the table in the model view also, correct? But I cannot see the table on Power Query editor. See here. This one I'm talking about. Two tables I have created as a part of example. Date underscore D. Another table is, where is that? I deleted location unit. So this table, right? You cannot see these two tables in the query editor. I haven't imported. These tables are all connected from the database I have imported. But this country underscore unique and date table underscore D, I haven't imported. I have created by taking the reference of existing tables. I have taken one of the field from location table, that is country column, and I have created it as a unique. And I can see this table on the model view. This way, I can try to build some relationship because I don't find out any uniqueness. I can make use of an intermediate table, intermediate calculation. Is that clear now? Or else still some confusion? Everyone, try to respond. Is that clear? Priyanka. So why would a table shows the same value like sales for every country? I'm expecting a right answers from everyone. If this is failed to answer, maybe it's my mistake. I feel that I haven't explained to you properly. Answers, please. Read the ABCD and let me know why. I have showcased you, right? Yeah, this is visualization. Here. Why it is coming as the same value? Why? Why you are seeing the same value here? Because there is no relationship, correct? Why there is no responses? Expecting an answer, that's what I said, right? Expecting an answer. Because there is no relationship between the sales and country fields, you'll see the same value. Correct? Yes or no? Read it the document. Please let me know. If you haven't, understood some concept, please let me know. I'm ready to explain it, revise. Okay. If you don't have any relationship, we will get the same value. Okay. Still, if you're observing here, I'm getting the same value. I have a connectivity, but still it is giving it as a same value because that data flow direction is on some, not from both of the sides. So I have to change the direction here. Okay, the data is getting flowed only from the country unit to the sales. So if you can try to check, let me change it here also because I'm using this as a bridge table, right? Let me see. I already have a relationship, right? Let me build it. We already have derived the relationship, right? Let me build by using this country zip. Okay. If you don't have a relationship between location table and sales table revenue, you will see the same value for each and every district or as for each and every country. Once we build a relationship between two tables, you'll see unique. Okay, maybe the unique as per the district, we can see the value. This is the right values. Okay, important. Please go through it and let me know. I'm providing an answers on the next slide. Go through it. And next part is tomorrow onwards, we will get started with some best practices on the query editor. Sorry, and the DAX part, which we have completed the objects, new column, new measure, calculated table. So we will work on the best practices part, just like a query editor, how we worked on the best practices. Like that, before starting on building the project, we'll get started on the best practices of the DAX, like modeling level. Okay, so that you will feel more comfortable while working on the project development. Got it? I'm stopping up to this part. If you have any queries, let me know. I will share you this document. Any questions? If you have any questions, please raise your hand so that I will get to know. Any questions? Fine. Thanks for joining. Have a nice day. Tomorrow we will get connect and we will work on the best practices on the model. Okay. Thank you.